Hey guys, hello there. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. I know I look like this. I know. You'd think I would shave for you, right? But I've spent really the last 5 or 6 days pretty much alone with the cats, moving stuff, cleaning, and putting together some IKEA furniture. I put together my bed last night. Oh my God. It took me probably close to 4 hours because I put one piece on backwards. And then I had to disassemble the whole thing. It was a nightmare. But, so I really haven't shaved or taken care of myself. But I promise to be cuter tomorrow because I have a work trip. But I have to meal prep. I really have to get back into meal prepping because I've spent almost everything on the house. I have plenty of money set aside just in case for at least a month. But I have to get back to saving money so I can put aside a savings account for the house, for the cats, and also I want to put money aside for a car. Eventually, I do want a car. I've rented a car a couple times over the past couple weeks, and it's been so nice to just get in a car and go somewhere, you know, rather than go to Walmart as I did earlier today and have to wait for 3 buses because they were full. Yeah, so it's been a day of IKEA and me at Walmart waiting for the bus. But let's do a little meal prep. I'm going to do some eggs, boiled eggs, which are awesome for just eating on the plane, snacking for breakfast when I don't want to eat instant oatmeal. So I'm going to just do some boiled eggs. I have to buy some, I was going to tell you what I need to buy on Amazon to help me cook, but I'd be afraid that one of you would go out and buy it for me. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. I have to be sneaky these days because otherwise you guys get sneaky. So I'm going to buy some cooking things to help meal prepping a little easier. I almost told you what they'd be, but you know they'd be at my P.O. box before I know it. So I'm going to do some boiled eggs for now. Not the hardest thing, but let's go and cook some eggs. All right, don't mind my dirty, dusty Instant Pot. There are there's a dozen eggs in here. I have 18, but I'm going to leave 6 of those just for scrambling or doing something later. But I've got a dozen eggs in there with a cup of water and my little trivet rack thing. So I'm going to put my Instant Pot lid on. Then I'm going to just hit pressure cook 5 minutes. And then when they're cooked, and that's on sealing, when they're cooked, I'm going to put them in a little ice water bath for 5 minutes, and I'll show you how easy they are to peel. So my Instant Pot just beeped at me. So I got this red silicone spout that's supposed to redirect the steam from coming out here. So I'm going to turn this. I've already hit cancel. I'm letting the steam escape. I got this because the Instant Pot's so close to the bottom of the cabinets that it would just eventually get the cabinets wet, and eventually I think that would be a problem. To those who were super sleuths, how many pepper grinders did I have on the counter a minute ago? 1. This one I got at Goodwill for $3. Does not work, it's broken, but I think it's cute, so I'm going to leave it there. And I got this one at the Antique Mall of America for $8, and it works. But while I was putting peppercorns in there and waiting for this to happen, I pulled out this mortar and pestle that I got recently. I had never used a mortar and pestle before, and I tried grinding pepper in that, and it was, surprise, surprise, very effective since they've been used for thousands of years, right? So let me wait for that steam to finish up, and I'll put them in an ice bath. Right, so my machine told me they were done. And I'm putting the eggs in an ice bath. This bowl, can you see the shape of it? It's got a little pour spout here and a wider handle here. Anybody recognize these bowls? This is the set. I got this. Oh, let me show you. Wait. This is the set. It's called Early American. They're called Cinderella bowls. I got like a pristine set at the Antique Mall of America. I vaguely remember seeing these bowls when I was very young. and fell in love with them way back then. And then I saw a set of them in perfect condition at the Antiques Mall of America, and so I had to buy them for my new house. This is the first time I'm using them. So I'm putting the eggs in an ice bath for 5 minutes, and then I'll take them out and I will show you how easy these eggs are to peel and why even just to make frickin' eggs you'll want an Instant Pot. Now, 5 minutes later, you just basically nudge the shells and they literally just fall out of their shells. Look at that. They're perfect. There's no like chunks missing. They're not shredded up. So, I mean, if you're gonna do this for like, you know, deviled eggs or something, you don't have to worry about eggs that are just torn up. And your fingers aren't hurting afterwards either, because if you've shelled a lot of eggs, your fingertips get all cut up. It's a nightmare. But these just kind of fall out of their shells. Isn't that great? Ta-da! So I'm going to peel these eggs, throw them in a little Ziploc bag, and that will be a snack for the airplane or in the hotel room, or maybe tomorrow morning if I don't want to scramble some eggs or something. All right, while those eggs were cooking, remember 5 minutes, I made some artwork. Well, I put something in a frame. I'm not sure if I'd call that making art, but I want some things on my walls, including the mirrors. I want to hang stuff on the mirror as if it were a wall treatment on purpose. But I wanted to do an experiment with a photograph that I took of Buddy. And so I went to Office Depot today and asked if they could blow up a photograph, and they did. And I put it in an IKEA frame that I got the other day. Now, this isn't where it's going to end up. It might be on the wall behind me, on the mirrored wall. But for now, I wanted to put it up as an experiment, and I have to tell you, I am so happy with this. Oh my God. All right, so this is not how my mantle is going to look. Look at that big crack. Part of why I want to hang something in front of it. But this is not how my mantle is going to look, and I'm sorry it's so dark in here, but I can't help it get excited to show you. All right, so this little piece of artwork is, how cute is that? I just love that. It's a picture of Buddy in profile that I use as my screens, my screen on my phone. And this app just uses the photograph, and it uses 2 different colors on top of the black and white. How cool is that? Isn't Buddy handsome? But I just love that. I put it inside an IKEA frame, and I've got some spider plants that I'm rooting here. This is a peperomia, which is one of the few plants that are not toxic to cats. This is a pine cone from my front of my house. This is a fake lupine, but I just love lupine, and it looks so real in a pottery vase that I bought at an antique store recently, and my little Buddha with an obnoxiously scented vanilla candle. I can't burn this anymore because I don't like scented things in the house because I don't think the cats like it. But how great, oops, wait, there we go. How great is that picture? Love it. Now the frames I got have mats, but if I used the mat that was in the picture, it would have cut off his nose and part of his ear. So I just used the whole frame, the whole picture in the frame. Isn't that cute? I love it. I have 2 pictures that are also creative of Eleanor and Claire that I want to do now that I did this with Buddy. It cost $29 to make that, to enlarge that photo, and it turned out beautifully. There's no pixelization, and it's just a little camera picture, you know. So I think it turned out really, really well. I wanted something on the walls that was colorful because my color palette here is pretty neutral. But I didn't want to put up some sort of generic print or some random something I found at IKEA. I wanted something that I had a part in doing, or some artwork that was actually created, you know. But I just love that picture. I love that picture of Buddy. I've got something super cute of Claire, It's her sleeping with a moon hanging over her. Oh my God, she's so cute. And there's a kind of a crazy one I think I want to use of Eleanor. She's a little crazy, but yeah, so there you go. All right, so now I'm gonna do a little more meal prep. I'm gonna make some pasta with tomatoes and stuff. So I'm not sure if I'll film it, but I might as well. All right, I'll see you in a minute. All right, so I am by no means a cook. It's taking me like a minute to chop up a clove of garlic, but I'm gonna throw 4 1/4 cloves into this pot, so this will not be for vampires. I'm just coarsely chopping up an onion. I'm using these Sunyons, tearless and sweet, premium sweet onions. I have to tell you, I just chopped up this onion, peeled it, chopped it up. My eyes aren't bothering me in the least. Very strange, because my eyes usually stream, but I love to cry. All right, now I could have and should probably have sauteed the onions and the garlic separate, but I'm lazy, and it's actually later than I like it to be. It's almost 8 o'clock, and I have to be in bed in a little bit more than an hour. So I'm using this tool by Pampered Chef that one of you guys actually sent me, and I forgot your name. I'm so sorry. But it's actually a fantastic tool. It's like the chop and stir that I've seen like on QVC or something, but it really does quick work of this. So I'll chop that up. I'm going to throw in a little salt from my little salt cellar here. And since I ground up that pepper in my mortar and pestle earlier, I might as well throw that in there. That's probably a lot of pepper. And I'm going to throw in some red pepper flakes. And, oh, I forgot the tomatoes. Oh, shoot. Well, I'll cook this first, and then I'll chop up the tomatoes while this is sauteing, while this is browning. Isn't this a great tool? Pampered Chef. All right, let me cut those tomatoes. All right, so I'm just going to cut up this entire little box of grape tomatoes, just slicing them in half once so that they break down completely. I'm using a little utility knife, which is like a miniature bread knife, and it makes really quick work of these little tomatoes. It's nice. All right, this will take me a second. You probably don't want to watch. That's good. I had forgotten I threw in some dried oregano. The only problem with these Instant Pots, like the liners always roll around, but I found this at Marshall's. It's actually branded by Instant Pot, this silicone spatula. It's great. It fits right in the edge of the pie. I love this thing. It was like, I don't know, $4 or $5. I love it. All right, so let's throw the tomatoes in. Bink. And bink. Oh, and I used a little olive oil. I used, what's it called? There you go. California Olive Ranch. Cold pressed, 100% California olive oil. It's a nonstick pot, but since I used ground turkey, and since it's so lean, I thought I need a little bit more fat in there. What am I missing? Oh, the pasta. The pasta, hold on. All right, so I wanted a larger pasta. I'm just putting in a box of this rotini. Full box. I wanted rigatoni, honestly, but I got the rotini instead. And so I am cheating. I usually would like to use something better, but I'm using a jar of tomato sauce. I know I'm using all those tomatoes just to add something fresh to it. I'm going to pour that on inside. And I'm using enough liquid to cover the pasta. And I'm going to use, rather than just water, I'm going to use this stuff. It's called Better Than Bouillon. And a teaspoon of that in hot water makes a good bouillon. I'm going to throw that back in the can, give it a shake. And I just want to cover the pasta with water. All right, I'm just gonna get lazy and throw the rest of that. Have the rest of that be just water. Okay, just enough liquid to cover the pasta. And if I had some tomato paste, I'd even throw that in here, but I don't. So I'm just covering the pasta, and then I'm going to let that cook that. And since the meat is already cooked and everything else is cooked, all I have to do is throw the lid on and then cook this for 5 minutes. I'm going to try it for 5 minutes. You know, I almost bought myself a garbage bowl. You know, when you're cooking, you have all these scraps. But I just, honestly, it's just one more thing on the counter. So what I just do is get a little plastic bag from the grocery store. I keep them all. I put little stainless steel hooks on the drawer pulls. I'll hang the bag off here, making sure it's not going to get leaked. You know, I might double it up. And then throw my scraps in that the little plastic bag as I cook, and then I just throw that away. Okay. So let's see what happened here. Oh, very nice. Okay, so it's still a little liquidy, but that's fine. Well, you can't see, can you? There you go. Oh, nice. Now, if I had some cream cheese, I would stir a block of cream cheese in here with a little bit of Parmesan cheese, like a quarter cup of Parmesan as well, and it turns it into this really yummy, almost like lasagna kind of thing. All right, so I know I cheated with a whole can of tomato sauce in there, but like you can see the big chunks of tomato in there too. It just adds a little freshness and something. I feel like I did something, you know, and it's not too liquidy. It's perfect. And that was just 5 minutes. So I'm going to put some in a plate. All right. And this is my, I wouldn't say China. It's by Royal Dalton. Ta-da, right there, called Pacific. I have 4 of the plates, 4 of the bowls. I got them at Marshall's. I was super, super excited. They were $4 a piece. I love them. I'm trying to find glasses that go back to that look. But there you go. This is my dinner. And I'll have enough easily for a couple meals. A couple good-sized meals for this trip ahead. All right, so this isn't groundbreaking or wildly creative, but I feel like I cooked something. You know, it's definitely better than heating up macaroni and cheese or spending $15 at the airport for a sandwich. You know, so itadaki, huh? What does that made in Japan say? Itadakimasu? Whatever she says. There you go. Hot, but yummy. This will serve me very well on my layovers. I'm going to have it for dinner now. It is almost 9 o'clock, and I have to be in bed by like 9:30. 10 o'clock the absolute latest. Tomorrow's not a really difficult day, so I don't have to like have 10 hours of sleep, but the morning will come much too soon. So I will see you in the AM. All right, thanks for joining me with my little cooking show. Good morning, guys. Hi. So it's 6:44 in the morning. I scheduled an Uber to pick me up at 5:15 in the morning, even though my check-in wasn't until 6:30, just because I wasn't sure if the Uber didn't make it or show up or whatever. I would have some time to, you know, get to the airport somehow. But so I got here wicked early, plenty of time to check in. I ate a breakfast sandwich, got on the plane. I'm flying position C on this trip, mostly because someone who's senior to me is flying lead, and my friend Ravon is close friends with her, so I'm letting him fly up in front. I'll fly in the back. We're going from Vegas to Chicago, and then Chicago to Orlando. I've got 2 Orlando layovers. One longer than the other, but I've got recurrent the end of next month, and I've done nothing to prepare. So it's going to be a recurrent study trip for me. Flight time 2 hours and 42 minutes, something. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh my God, this pillow is eating me alive. Hey guys, how are ya? Good morning. So this layover is not what I was hoping for, which was peaceful, relaxing, easy, simple. I don't know, whatever. Let's do a recap yesterday, though, of yesterday. So the flight yesterday to Chicago, super easy. I didn't have a single problem, although apparently, oh my God, this pillow is eating me alive. Apparently, we had a couple mask rebels yesterday. And I wasn't flying lead. I'm flying position C on this trip, and they really tested our lead. She is wonderful. She's patient. She's definitely funny. But you know, you don't play with her. Don't play with your flight attendants anyway. Like, don't test them. Our lives are challenging enough these days. But apparently we had a couple mask rebels, and one of them just refusing flat out to wear their face covering. And you know, it's a federal mandate now, right? It's not like just our rule. It's a federal mandate. And there's fines and all sorts of stuff that could happen, right? But there were a couple mask rebels. And let's just say one person did not make their connecting flight. I'll just say that. That's all I'll say. And I'm just glad I wasn't flying lead on this trip. But so the next leg, super easy to my knowledge. Back in the back of the aircraft, it was super easy. Great people. We did have one family of children with 3 small children that were a bit much. They were a bit much. But they were also sweet, and, you know, the parents were doing the best they could. So they did what they could do. Got here to the hotel. I took a nap for a couple hours. But then apparently there was a whole team of teenagers, a sports team of young men. I don't think they were over 17 or 18 years old. They're still teenagers, I think. But there were like 3 or 4. Oh my God, the baby next door. There's like 3 or 4 rooms of kids around me, and then the room on my right hand side, the coach, the responsible person, was there, and it was a circus. I think about 6:30 I had dinner, expecting them to kind of quiet down. No, did not happen. I turned the volume up on my TV and watching HGTV. I could not study. I just was not in the mood for recurrent. But I've got 5 weeks left before I have to go to recurrent, so I've got time. But these kids, they were just going up and down, up and down. And, you know, I'm peeping through the peephole in my door because they're just going up and down the hallway. And the ice machine is running like a construction site. And I'm like, what's going on? They're filling, not the ice bucket, they're filling the trash cans full of ice over and over and over again. I have no idea what they're doing with this ice. And then they're yelling someone threw water on they're just a circus. 10 o'clock at night, I call the front desk. Is it possible you can speak to them because it's awfully loud and trying to get to sleep? Nothing. Midnight, they're still going strong, and I am going insane. At 1:09 in the morning, I left my room, went downstairs, and I asked to be moved. There was only one room available. It's on the first floor. And we're not supposed to be booked on the first floor. I'm not sure if they broke the rules or anything by putting them on the first floor, but it was the only room available. So I got here, and it's a handicap room, so it's super roomy. It's a nice room. Nothing worth a tour, but it's a nice room. But there is an adjoining room. There's a door to another room. And about 7 o'clock this morning, they woke up. There's a bunch of kids, and including an infant crying, and a family. And I think another family went in and joined them. And it has been a circus. It's now like 11:30 noon. I think they finally checked out because the room has gone silent.
But between 7 a.m. and, I don't know what time it is, 11:30 in the morning, nonstop, no, they're still there, nonstop yelling and screaming, and the baby's screaming, and yeah, so I had been hoping to do a little bit of reading and studying for a recurrent, but it's not happening because I can just barely keep my sanity. So I'm watching HGTV all morning. In a moment or two, I'm going to settle into some lunch. I think I showed you, oh my God, they're so loud. I did some meal prepping yesterday, so I'm going to have some pasta for lunch. And then I have a couple hours before my van at 3:30 to get to the airport to fly to Minneapolis and then back here to Orlando for like a 12-hour layover. So I'm praying I have better neighbors for the next layover. Otherwise, yeah, whatever. All right, so I will see you guys later. I'll stop complaining. But this is the real life of being a flight attendant sometimes. All right, so I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right, hey guys, how are ya? So I made it on the plane, as you can see. I did have a 2-hour nap. The family that was next door to me at the hotel checked out and allowed me at least 2 hours, 2 hours of sleep to refresh myself before this flight, because we don't get back into Orlando until midnight tonight. So we're flying to Minneapolis. We've got 182 passengers booked. That is to capacity on our plane. The flight time is 3 hours and 9 minutes. We'll see what that turns into. Our layover when we come back to Orlando tonight is just over 12 hours. We're supposed to be, I'm sure we'll be de-iced, I should say, in Minneapolis before coming back to Orlando. So I'm hoping that doesn't cut too much into our layover, but still should be enough time to eat and sleep and get ready for our trip back to Vegas tomorrow. All right, so I will see you probably in Minneapolis next. Oh, look at this. I look like a plucked chicken, a half-plucked chicken. I need a haircut so bad, but I can't find my clippers. They're packed in a box somewhere. I can't find them. I'll have a couple days off. Hopefully I can unpack some stuff and find those clippers and take care of this chicken head. So this flight from Orlando to Minneapolis was inconsequential to me. I had no issues, no problems in the back.
Flight time is 2:49.
2:49 going back to 104. Yay! So we have 104 passengers. I like a full plane. It just means there's less people moving around and doing things. It also means I stay employed. But 104 people, I can take that today. So the flight was inconsequential, at least in the back of the aircraft. We had one person who was kind of unhappy about wearing her mask, but she wore it. We had a couple mask rebels up in front, and our lead is not playing. I'll tell you that. Also, something happened up in the front is, and I'll tell you, I have a coworker named Ravon. He never watches my channel, but Ravon is such a good guy. He's such a good human being in general. He's also a new cat dad. He has 2 lovely cats that he rescued from a cat cafe. But a little boy projectile vomited, like all over that row, that seat section, and into the aisle. And Ravon was down on his hands and knees with a couple biohazard kits taking care of it. And I'm sure the whole time consoling the little boy and, you know, making him feel okay. Because Ravon's he's just the best. And then my coworker in the back, I can't remember his name. Oh my God. He rushed up to help him. I was like, I don't even know what was going on, but I have some good coworkers. I really do have some good coworkers that took care of the situation. And that's it. So we're in Minneapolis. Look at this. Yuck, right? Ugh. This, of course, means we're going to have to be de-iced, which will cut into our already short layover. But when we get to that hotel room, I'm going to heat up my food, eat some dinner, and then probably hit the sheets with a little help from melatonin tonight. I'll be doing a little melatonin dance tonight. I think that's it. That's it so far. So I will see you again in Orlando. Hey guys, hi. Welcome back to Orlando. Today was easy. That last leg, the second leg of the day, was just super duper easy. We only had 110 people on board. I don't even know how many. Not many. And the leg wasn't as long as the first one was. So super easy. I can't think of any problems whatsoever. We had a bunch of kids, no surprise, coming to Orlando, of course, and they were all adorable. We had a couple criers, and one poor kid was suffering with, the air pressure in the ears. Oh, the poor thing. He was crying like he got like an ice pick in the head, the poor thing. But you show them how to blow their nose a little bit, and his ears popped. It was good. Yeah, so we were a little bit late. We were about a half hour late coming into Orlando, because we had to de-ice in, where were we? Minneapolis? Yeah. We had to de-ice in Minneapolis, but we were only about a half hour late, which is fine. And, this layover in Orlando is, scheduled to be about 15 and a half hours. I thought it was closer to 12. So we don't have a van time until like 4 o'clock or 4:30 this afternoon. It's 2:20 in the morning right now. I am wide awake, and watching HGTV. There's what is it? Coming Home or Something Home. There's a show on HGTV. It's this couple. She's a super cute little blonde, and he's this big redheaded Viking. Oh, love him. But it's 2 o'clock, 2:20 in the morning, and I'm watching HGTV. I just had some mini bagels with peanut butter for dinner. And that's it. Just kind of chilling, relaxing. Tomorrow, I'm going to try and sleep as late as I can, get a little reading done. I'm trying to read through my my flight attendant manual. And that's it. Big, exciting layover. But the big plus is that there aren't teenagers running up and down the hallway. And I don't hear anybody in the room next to me. Very exciting. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Hey guys, how are you? So I am clearly on the plane. It is 4:51. It's about our show time. We got here a little early. Our flight today to Houston should be pretty easy. We have 126 people booked, I think. 110 people checked in so far. The flight time is 2 hours and 12 minutes. That could be much worse. And so it sounds like an easy leg ahead. Then one leg home and I'm done. I should be back in Vegas by about 10 o'clock tonight. I'm off for the next 3 days. I have some practice at being an adult for the next 3 days. I have to sort of look through all of my new bills. I'm so used to just having a cell phone bill, a rent bill, and an electricity bill. That's the only bills I usually have. So now I have to look into the HOA and when I have to pay that, which I think is April, pay my mortgage and all that stuff. So I have to spend the next day going through all of my bills and all of my paperwork and start to organize it so I can use it effectively now and in the future. So that's my goal for tomorrow. Then the next couple of days I want to put together some furniture from IKEA that I have put aside. I still have boxes and boxes of stuff to go through. And then the next day I want to look into getting internet in my apartment. I was going to try and go without Wi-Fi for a while because I really hate the idea of spending like $60 a month on Wi-Fi when I'm home for maybe, 10, 12, 14 days a month. So I was just going to use the Wi-Fi at the airport when I needed to, and that's rare. It's just for work usually, but I think I'm going to look into what my cost might be to get some Wi-Fi. But in the meantime, I'm going to go up in front and hope that it's cooler up there, because right now in the back of this aircraft, it's like sweltering. I'm sweating to death. So I will, on that positive, gorgeous note, I will see you later. Look at these cleaners go. They are so fast. so crazy. They're so good. Man, those cleaners are awesome. They're like zip, zip, zip. They're like flipping the tray tables down, and then the other one sprays, and the other one's gonna wipe. They're super fast. All right, so that flight was easy, super easy. Again, I'm flying in the back. Nothing happened, which is nice. From what I'm gathering, we only have like less than 30 passengers going to Vegas from here. Now, I like full flights because I just think they're easier. There's no empty seats to be moving around and any foolishness. You know, they all kind of fall asleep like kittens in a pile, you know. And I want full flights so we all stay employed, right? But sometimes a light load is nice. Only because it just means like no work and we just get to go home quick. So sometimes light loads are good. Yep, 34 passengers booked. I wonder how many people will actually make the flight. I'd say roughly half of them were on our flight here from Orlando. So we'll see what happens, but 34 people booked. Look at Eleanor. Hi. She loves being under the table. Look at her. And then, oh, there you are. There you are. And buddy, hi. Hi. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah. What? Look at Eleanor. Whoop. Yeah, you didn't quite make it up there, kiddo. And you'll see Buddy is actually in the window. They don't come down here on their own, but when I come down here and hang out for a while, they have started to come downstairs, which is nice. Right? Are we talking about you? Yeah. All right, so I got home. Where are you? I got home from my trip about maybe 45 minutes ago. I had leftovers, the last of the food I cooked in preparation for my last trip. This last leg of this trip was super, super easy. We had like 26 people on the plane. We had 30 some odd people booked. 26 actually made it on the plane. And it was no problem at all. I mean, that was just the easiest leg possible until we landed. We literally landed. We were about 40 minutes early, so we had to wait for someone to come and move the jet bridge over. So people were standing in the aisle for a bit. And if you know who I work for, you know that there's quite a few viral videos of people getting in fights on my airplane, our airplanes. It happens often enough. Well, I'll tell you, I was all the way in the back with my coworker, and I heard voices being raised, and I could sense some agitation mid-cabin. So I waited to see if it would settle down. It didn't. So I excused myself and I moved through the people who were in the aisle. And one young man who had been pretty easygoing on the flight, like innocent, weird, but innocent, was getting really upset. Apparently, a girl wouldn't give him her Instagram information or whatever. I don't know. And he was getting really salty. She got a little salty back, but he went like wacko. It was pretty seriously weird. So I used my mother's voice and tried to stop the the energy from progressing. And he just was on a bent. He was just intent on causing a scene. And so I called towards the front of the aircraft and I said, I asked for my coworker, could you please, because I wasn't near an interphone, I asked if they could call for the authorities. And I told the guy, I was brought to the point where I had to say, listen, he was showing off his money, and he had a fistful of money in his pocket, his bag earlier. And I was like, sir, I don't care how much money you have in your bag. The authorities are coming. So if you want to decide whether or not you want to leave with them or leave on your own, now's a good time to decide that, And he calmed down before the authorities could actually get to the plane. Everyone deplaned and he went off. So You know, situation avoided, but yeah, I wasn't playing it as cool as I really would have liked to, but I had to take a bit of a firmer stance than I normally would, because he wasn't responding to sweetness. Let's just say that. But yeah, so they got off the plane, and I just got here home as quick as I could. It did take me about 50 minutes taking 2 different buses, but the reward was that I got to hats. And they have started to recognize themselves in the reflection of all this mirror. In fact, I wish I had been filming when Eleanor approached her reflection in the mirror with her back arched and her tail up, and she was all fluffed out. She was trying to scare the other cat that looked, well, just like her. And it was funny. But the cats are good. I'm good. I'm home after what felt like a very long 3-day trip. And it's all good. Before I go, I have to get into some light. For some reason, quite a few of you have asked if I've been dyeing my eyebrows, which isn't a problem, but I just want you, can you see the gray hairs in my eyebrow? I don't know if you can or not. Can you see? Yeah. I've got 2 really long gray hairs there. And there's a little baby gray here, one in my eyebrow there. For some reason, people are keen on thinking I'm dyeing my eyebrows. I'm not. I do have a brow pencil I tried using a few times, but honestly, it's just too much work. Who cares? All right, so thank you for joining me on this 3-day trip. It's been something, and I will see you very soon. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. I already said that. Bye. Fly safe. Bye.